What if the prison you are living in has no walls, no locks, no guards, no chains, just thoughts, circling, repeating, returning every time you think they are gone? The same conversations replayed, the same fears examined, the same questions asked, over and over, to answers that never come. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are overthinking, and it is costing you something you cannot get back: your peace. This is the story of Elena. And the day she finally walked out of her own mind. Elena was 29 years old, and her mind never stopped. Not during the day, when thoughts competed for her attention like voices in a crowded room. Not at night, when she lay in the dark and her brain, instead of resting, opened every file it had ever saved and reviewed them all. Simultaneously, she overthought everything. Conversations she'd had. Did I say the wrong thing? Did they take it the wrong way? Why did they pause before answering? Decisions she needed to make. What if I choose wrong? What if the other option was better? What if I regret this in 5 years? Things that hadn't happened yet. What if the meeting goes badly? What if they don't like me? What if everything falls apart? Things that had already happened. Why did I say that? Why didn't I say this instead? What must they think of me now? Past and future. Both equally consuming. Both equally beyond her control. Both equally present in her mind at all times. The present, the actual, real, happening now, was the one place Elena almost never lived. Her sister, Mia, 3 years younger, somehow 3 times calmer, watched this with quiet concern. One evening she said, "Elena, when is the last time you were just here? Not thinking about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow, just here, in this room, in this moment." Elena thought about it. She genuinely could not remember. "I don't know how to do that," she said finally. "I know," Mia said gently. "That's what worries me." Elena had tried things. Meditation apps. She had downloaded 4, used each one for 3 days, then overthought whether she was doing it correctly, and stopped. Journaling. She had started twice. Both times the journal became another place to overthink, more organized, more documented, but still the same thoughts in a different format. Exercise, which helped while she was doing it. But the moment she stopped, the thoughts returned, refreshed, energized, as if the exercise had been for them, not for her. Nothing worked. Because Elena had a fundamental misunderstanding about overthinking, one that kept every solution from reaching the root. The crisis arrived on a Tuesday. Elena had been offered a promotion, a real one, more responsibility, more visibility, more of everything she had worked toward. Her manager gave her a week to decide, and Elena, instead of feeling excited, felt the familiar machinery start up inside her. What if I'm not ready? What if I fail publicly? What if I take it and hate it? What if I don't take it and regret it? What if this is my only chance? What if there are better chances coming? What if? By day 3, she had thought about the decision for approximately 14 hours. She had made lists, pros and cons, best case scenarios, worst case scenarios, medium case scenarios. She had talked to 4 people, received 4 different opinions, and was now more confused than when she started. By day 5, she couldn't sleep. She lay in the dark at 3 a.m., the decision still unmade, her mind still running, and felt something she recognized with dread: paralysis. Not the inability to decide because she lacked information. She had all the information. Paralysis because thinking, more thinking, had not brought clarity. It had brought the opposite. The more she thought, the more possibilities she saw. The more possibilities she saw, the more afraid she became. The more afraid she became, the more she thought. A perfect, terrible circle. She called Mia at 3 a.m. Mia answered, groggy but present. "I can't stop," Elena said. "I've been thinking about this decision for 5 days. I know everything about it. I've analyzed every angle. And I still don't know what to do. And I can't sleep. And I'm exhausted. And I don't understand. If thinking is supposed to help, why does more thinking make everything worse?" Mia was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Elena, can I tell you something that might sound strange?" "Please," Elena said. Overthinking is not thinking too much. It is thinking in the wrong direction. Thinking is useful when it moves toward a conclusion. But what you're doing, what you've been doing for years, is not moving toward anything. It's circling. And circling, no matter how long you do it, never gets you anywhere. It just makes you dizzy. Elena sat with that. Circling. Not thinking. Circling. She thought about the difference. Thinking moves forward. It takes information, processes it, and arrives somewhere new. Circling takes the same information, processes it again, and arrives back where it started. She had been circling the same thoughts for 5 days, for years, and she had confused the motion, the feeling of mental activity with progress. But there was no progress, just dizziness. So what do I do? She asked. You stop, Mia said simply. Stop thinking? Stop circling. There is a difference between a thought that is working, moving, processing, concluding, and a thought that is just repeating. When a thought repeats, it is not giving you new information. It is just noise. And noise, no matter how loud, is not wisdom. The moment a thought starts repeating, that is your signal. Not to think harder, to stop, and do something with your hands, or your body, or your breath. Anything that brings you out of your head and back into the world. Elena thought about a washing machine. A washing machine on a normal cycle moves forward. Wash. Rinse. Spin. Each stage different. Each stage moving toward clean. But a washing machine stuck, spinning in one direction, endlessly, doesn't clean anything. It just wears out the clothes. Elena's mind had been stuck in one direction for years. Not washing, not cleaning, not arriving anywhere. Just spinning, wearing her out. She got out of bed. Not to think. Not to make a list. Not to analyze the decision one more time. She went to the kitchen, made tea, stood at the window, looked at the street below, a cat crossing slowly, a light on in a window, across the road, the sound of distant traffic. She focused on those things. Only those things. The specific, real, present things in front of her eyes. Not the promotion, not the future, not the past, just the cat, just the light, just the sound. And for the first time in 5 days, her mind went quiet. Not empty, not solved, not decided, just quiet. And in that quiet, she felt something she had almost forgotten existed. Peace. Not the peace of having answers, the peace of being, for one moment, completely present. The next morning, Elena made the decision. Not after more analysis, not after another list. She woke up, made coffee, sat quietly for 10 minutes, and then from a place of stillness rather than noise, she knew. She took the promotion. Not because the analysis said yes, not because the pros outweighed the cons, but because when her mind was quiet, when the circling stopped, the answer was simply there. It had always been there, underneath the noise. Waiting for the noise to stop so it could be heard, she called her manager. I'll take it, she said. Wonderful, her manager said. You seemed uncertain. What helped you decide? Elena thought about a cat crossing a street at 3 a.m. I stopped thinking, she said. Her manager laughed, assuming it was a joke. Elena smiled. It wasn't. The twist in Elena's story is not that she stopped having thoughts. She still had them. The mind does not become empty. It is not supposed to. The twist is what she learned about the difference between thoughts that serve you and thoughts that consume you. A thought that serves you arrives, informs, and moves on. It brings new information. It points toward action. It has a beginning and an end. A thought that consumes you arrives, repeats, and stays. It brings no new information. It points toward more thinking. It has no end, only continuation. The skill, the real skill, is learning to tell the difference. And the moment a thought starts repeating, to stop. Not to think harder, not to analyze more deeply, to stop. And return to the present, to the cat, to the light, to the sound, to the breath, to the specific, real, happening now. She told Mia what had happened. I found it, she said. Found what? Mia asked. The off switch. Not for thinking. For circling. It's the present moment. It's always been the present moment. Every time I'm overthinking, I'm either in the past or the future. The present is the only place where the circling stops, because in the present, there is nothing to worry about, nothing to regret, just what is. And what is almost always okay. So here's what I want you to know about overthinking. It is not a character flaw. It is not a sign of weakness. It is not something wrong with you. It is a habit. A habit of leaving the present and living in the past or future, where your mind has no ground to stand on, and so it circles endlessly. Looking for solid ground that doesn't exist there. The solid ground, the only solid ground is here. Now. This moment. So here's what to do the next time you catch yourself circling. 1. Notice it. Not with judgment. Just notice. I am circling. This thought has repeated. It is not giving me new information. 2. Name it. This is overthinking. This is not useful thinking. This is noise. 3. Return. To something present. Something physical. Something real. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can touch. The feeling of your feet on the floor. The temperature of the air. The sound of the room. Anything that brings you out of your head and back into the world. 4. Trust the quiet. The answers you are looking for, the clarity you are searching for, is not found in more thinking. It is found in the stillness that exists when the thinking stops. Your mind is not your enemy. It is a powerful tool, but a tool used without rest, without direction, without knowing when to stop, does not build. It destroys. Give your mind a place to rest. That place is here, this moment, this breath, this specific, ordinary, completely sufficient. Now, you don't have to figure everything out today. You don't have to solve the future. You don't have to fix the past. You just have to be here, fully, completely, without apology. And in that being, in that simple, radical presence, you will find something that no amount of thinking has ever been able to give you. Peace, real peace. Not the peace of having answers, the peace of not needing them, right now, in this moment, which is the only moment that is ever real. If this story found you at the right moment, in the middle of your own circling, share it with someone whose mind never stops, who has forgotten what quiet feels like. Because somewhere out there is an Elena, lying awake at 3 a.m., thinking about the same thing for the 5th time, who just needs to hear. Stop circling. Come back. You are okay right now. This video is for her. This video is for you. Thank you for watching.